tight spot after they refused to toe the line. And as much as calls of unity were the order of the day at the NPC, factional behavior seems to reign supreme. ANC-NEC member Derek Hanekom, who refused to apologize to a commission, has accused KZN chairperson Sihle Zikalala of perpetuating factionalism. Now, meanwhile, ANC MP Makhosi Khoza has challenged the party leadership to expel her for speaking out against the party. ANC-NEC member Jewel Nechitende has also refused to apologize, misinterpreting the party's position on white monopoly capital. Now, this raises questions about factional behavior continuing unbated and if the party will take action against defiance. The video posted on Hanekom's Twitter page shows Zikalala and Northwest ANC chairperson Supra Mahumapelo addressing crowd during the ANC policy conference. In the video, Zikalala tells the group that they behaved in a disciplined manner, but to some, it comes across as if they are scared. He also urges branches to start demonstrating the character of ANC. He also mentions Mzwandile Masina, saying that the Gauteng branch has been a pillar of strength.
Now onward, as Comrade Dark was saying, we sometimes behave more discipline. Yeah. And that discipline to others is interpreted as I think from today, branches must just demonstrate the character of the ANC and what we need. The Gauteng has been a pillar of us here, cooperating Mzwandile.
NCSG Gwede Mantashe criticized Jewel for how he handled this presentation on the party's position on white monopoly capital.
He didn't make the decision between what you report in closed meetings and he went public on that. The content of the report, there's nothing wrong with that. What was a problem was to go out and say, this idea is adopted by 9 out of 11. Therefore, only 2 went with this one. The fact of the matter is that both ideas will be in the conference resolution package that goes to the branches for finalization in December.
ANC-NEC member Phoebe Potgieter Gubule said that Jewel issue might be referred to the disciplinary committee.
That's a decision of the steering committee, because the steering committee not only has the power to sanction someone, it also has the power to send someone to the disciplinary committee, and the disciplinary committee can sit at the National Policy Conference. I don't know the substance of the decision, whether they have gone that far, but they certainly has the powers to do that.
Now, this is how Khoza challenged the ANC to fire her, and I quote, "If the ANC fires me because I say listen to the electorate, so be it. I won't resign. Let them fire me. They are no longer the ANC I know. We've been captives of cowardice even when the system misleads us." ANC is now becoming synonymous with wrongdoing, amoral culture.
The chief has said that these actions do amount to discipline, extreme discipline in his view, and that the organization should take action. And that will also, of course, afford Comrade Khoza, an opportunity to, if she believes that the chief's conclusion that her actions amount to discipline, she will then, be afforded an opportunity to state that why she believes that the conclusion that her actions are discipline are unwarranted and come with a counter argument. But the chief of has called upon the organization to act.
Mokhaitsu Dumela, you are watching Prime with us right here on ANN7 on your DSTV channel. We are here with our studio guest with Ntate Mosire Tsiani. Welcome to ANN7 Prime.
Thank you.
Well, Ntate Mosire, MP Khoza has done it again, ANC MP. Now she's coming out again and she's daring the ANC to fire her. What do you take of this? She's saying that the ANC is no longer the ANC, the moral ANC that she knows of. What do you have to say about that?
What is she doing in there? That's the question we should be asking. If you are part of an organization and you disregard it and you you say that this organization is no longer the organization you know. To show that you are you are no longer in support of this organization, why enjoy the benefits in Parliament? Move out. I think what she ought to do in order to be an activation of her own words, the first thing she ought to have done is to resign. Why dare the ANC and say, fire me first? While it should be that I resign because the organization that I used to serve is no longer this one. But why do you want to create a hullabaloo, make noise about the organization that you belong to? If you are not happy about the organization, why not raise those issues within the organization itself? You've got a policy conference that was there, make your relevant input, but instead of participating in that, what do? You go and make and run your own small anyana.
So, do you maybe perhaps think that Khoza's media profile has made her untouchable maybe in the party?
No, I think ANC has found that it has people of this kind of a character. This is not the first person I think we hear of. There was one who was attacking the Minister of Finance, the new Minister of Finance, who would say that this minister does not belong to South Africa, comes from Zimbabwe and so forth. These are the kind of characteristics. Yes, that was the attack against Malusi Gigaba, the minister. The attacks seems to be going on along. These are people who are no longer aligning themselves with the organization. But surprisingly, they're within that organization. That's very surprising. Why, if you do not support the organization itself, what it stands for, why not move aside? Let those that support the ANC take a stand and support the organization within the parliament. All the parliamentarians that are there on a cut that was ticketed by the South Africans who voted the ANC.
And MP Khoza was also at the conference, but then she chose not to raise her concerns within the ANC at the policy conference and chose to speak out to the media rather. What's her motive on this?
Well, I think there's always a motive with people who are refusing radical economic transformation. People who are, in a way, trying... I think these are the people who are funded well enough to go and speak within the organization and make sure that they ridicule the organization. It's no longer ridiculing even the president as it was normally the norm within this country. But lately now, they're ridiculing the organization. They can't believe that ANC has come out united. These are the people who are depressed that the ANC has come out united, that ANC seems to map out a future where you're not going to have a divided organization. Instead of supporting that motion, instead of supporting that proposal, what do? You go and run your small Anyana media campaign out there and say, this is no longer the ANC I know. What ANC do you know?
Especially such a successful conference, that they had.
A very unified conference that came out. The president
also affirmed that the conference was very united and it was successful. But then another ANC leader, we have also Ndate Jewel Nechitende, who also refused to apologize, for misinterpreting, for saying that there's no white monopoly capital. What do you also have to say about Ndate Jewel Nechitende as well?
I'm still amazed that, you still have people blindfolded by what they see. The biggest elephant which is in the room, they decide not to see that elephant. They've decided to blindfold themselves and say that our history, this is not just to say that you hate a certain people of a specific race. This has nothing to do with hate. This is a reflection of the reality of South Africa. Yes, there is monopoly control all over in certain areas where there is no color. But in South Africa, there is a color based in terms of who controls the economy. And yet you have one of the ANC's best come up and say, no, we don't think that there is a monopoly control which is white dominated. What do you mean by that? What do you say? The overall performance or the overall statements that were indicated or uttered by the branch members that were there, that were participating, are saying that there is monopoly control, but it's controlled by a specific race. In this instance, is white. So this is called white monopoly control, and you have a man who refuses to accept that reality.
Do you think that maybe he will be subjected to, disciplinary action?
Well, we're hoping that ANC should discipline his members, especially from this policy conference. It has to learn to speak in one voice. Let members toe the line. If you are not within...
And that was the whole reasoning for for ANC members to actually unite and come together.
If you are ill-disciplined within the ANC, discipline, procedures must take over to the members of the African National Congress. We expect it to do that.
Mukhaisi, you're still watching us right here on 405 on your DSTV channel in Prime. We have Thabo on the line. Is Thabo still on the line with us?
Yeah.
A very good evening to you, Thabo. What do you have to say about this that is happening after the very successful conference at Nasrec, and now we have MP Khosi, Makhosazana Khoza, saying that, the ANC is no longer the moral ANC of old, and yet at the same time you still have Ntate Jewel Nechisenze, who's also refusing to accept that, to white monopoly capital. What do you have to say about this, Thabo?